Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a live reaction video for The Flash, Season 2, Episode 7, titled Guerrilla Warfare. Last week's episode, it was titled Enter Zoom. That episode, we entered a whole episode dedicated to Zoom. Who is Zoom? Why did Zoom come here? And how they had planned on taking Zoom. The plan backfired. Zoom attacked Barry, took Barry down, took his speed, made him semi-paralyzed. The episode left off where he couldn't feel his legs, and we also found out that Zoom is the baddest mother effer in town. He's the baddest, and he's the fastest mother effer in town. So that's where we left off at. So this week's episode enters where Team Flash is helping Barry recoup. Barry, he can walk with a walking stick, but he's not back up to full strength. He's not back, but so it appears that Zoom broke his back. Okay. So he has a spinal injury, but he's healing, which is good. So if he's healing like this, no average person that has a back injury and a spinal injury heals and able to walk again like that. So that means he probably has his speed. The Zoom probably did not take his speed, which is interesting. But the funny thing is that Zoom did stab Barry with the 2 injections of speed reduction formula that Cisco and Harrison Wells came up with from Earth 2. So he did stab him, and also Cisco shot Zoom with the same dart also, but only one. So that I want to know, did Barry's speed get reduced because he got stabbed with the 2 darts? Or not. So Barry's in recovery. He's healing slowly but steady, and Dr. Harrison is going to return back to his own world through the portal, which Jay had taught Cisco and Kaitlyn how to send people back to the portal. So Harrison Wells is going to get a plan together to take down Zoom in his world. So Kaitlyn don't want him to go but Joe and Iris and Cisco and Barry's like, well, if you want to go, just let him go. But Kaitlyn basically says that, well, besides Jay, no one knows Zoom better. But since Jay's not here, we need all the help we can because Barry he's out. You know, the funny thing is that Barry is using Dr. Wells' Earth 1 Earbud Dawn wheelchair from Season 1 to get around. That's the funny thing. But without the tablet, you know, in the left part of your seat next to his left leg. So that's the funny thing. So Cisco got a date with Kendra Saunders, the girl from the coffee shop that turned him down. I think last episode or episode before last. Kendra Saunders is Hawk Girl in Legends of Tomorrow. That's supposed to be premiering beginning of next year sometime. So Patty Spivot calls Barry, and he came up with the excuse that he's sick, but she don't know what really happened to Barry. Patty Spivot is not on a. She's not cute like Felicity from. She's not that cute. She's cute, but not cute like Felicity from Arrow. But she's more. I think out of all the Arrow and Flash girls, you got Patty, Linda, Felicity, Laurel, Thea, and the other girl, Kaitlyn, and Iris. This is from 1 to top 3. Laurel, Felicity. I feel like Patty Spirit, she look cute. I think all 3 of them, but Patty Spirit could be like a near hit and miss. But I think those 2. So Kaitlyn goes find Harris and look like a bar. So Wells from Earth 2 is saying that he has no plan. His only plan failed to use Barry to stop Zoom, but it failed. He going back home. He has no plan, but Kaitlyn trying to convince him to stay. Wow. So he's sitting there by himself. Wow. So Kaitlyn and Harrison Wells come up with a plan to close all the portals besides one. The only portal that's gonna be left open is Star Labs portal. So Cisco and Kendra Sandra's on a date, about to go to movie theater, and Cisco just had a vibe of her costume and Legends of Tomorrow, the eagle costume, like her when she got her wings. So he just had a vibe on Kendra Sandra's, and he dumps her and leaves her at the fucking movie theater. He said, "I'll call you. I gotta go." So what's going on? So we had a lab at a lab full of scientists. I don't know what's going on, but one of the scientists is breaking into his own part of his lab. He smacked one of the scientists with his container. He leaves with the container. It looked like he's being it looked like he's being controlled. Oh shit. Okay, wow. Okay, real quick. Gorilla Grodd is back on the scene. CGI looked totally different from the season 1 Gorilla Grodd. Look like more like the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes type of movie type effects. So he controls one of the guys through his mind control, and he gets one of the guys to bring out something, a container from his lab. And then once the guy brings out the container, he smacks the guy towards the building, and the man dies on impact. So Gorilla Grodd has this container for some reason. Look at oh my god, look at Joe with them shades on. Yo, he got them shades that look like Tom Cruise and shit. So they do an investigation at the crime scene. So they see the point of impact of where the guy had landed, and his how he died, and the blood is still on the sign. So Patty feels some type of way because Barry asks Joe to bring some chicken noodle soup homemade, but Patty asks Barry. No, Patty told Barry she makes a good mean chicken noodle soup, but he denied it. But he didn't want it. So we back at Starline. Barry's on the cosmic treadmill. I think Barry didn't lose his speed. I think Barry has his psychic block, where he has his speed, but it's blocked. Wow. He fell off the treadmill because he having flashbacks of the battle with Zoom. Wow. Him and Joe having a son and father conversation about Zoom. How Zoom, he beat my ass, man. He beat my ass. He beat my ass, man. Zoom's that motherfucker. I think towards the end of the episode, no, not Zoom. Barry might be the one to stop Gorilla Grodd again. But I just want to know, did the serum really work on Barry, and did he lose his speed a significant amount? And if so, because he did get stabbed, so. So, Cisco's having a conversation with Kaitlyn about the vibe he had of apparently to be a Birdman, but we know it wasn't a Birdman. It was Kendra Sandra as Hawk Girl, and she was in her costume flying. So that's where we at. So Kaitlyn's having a psychic or a mind control Fetty Wap flashback or being controlled, mind controlled. We know by Gorilla Grodd. Now we know about Gorilla Grodd. So Kaitlyn punches Cisco and leaves. So Joe Iris So Iris leaves, and Patty calls Joe about the connection of the killers, about the two deaths. Wow. So Patty do some DNA tests at the lab, and it comes back to hairs from both crime scenes has come back to be gorilla hair DNA. So they know Gorilla Grodd's back on the scene. That's what Joe appears to think. Wow. Oh, Gorilla Grodd is after Kaitlyn. All you seen was Gorilla Grodd walking behind Kaitlyn as she leaves Star Labs. So real quick, Harrison Wells just says something like he's amazed that his world and his world and Earth One world is the same. So Joe was like, well, y'all have gorillas on your world too, gorillas with an S. So he was like, yeah. So maybe in Earth 2, Gorilla City is there. Gorilla City is a place where there's a bunch of gorillas there's a bunch of gorillas that live in a certain part of Earth. I'm not sure if this is the jungle or the Amazon, but I'm not too familiar with it. I only seen some of that stuff, information like on Justice League on Cartoon Network. But Gorilla Grodd, I think, runs Gorilla City in the comic book, and when I seen it on Justice League on Cartoon Network, it was a bunch of them, in Gorilla City. So I think Earth 2 established Gorilla City, which Earth 1 didn't yet. So just real quick about that. So Cisco went back through the footage of live footage to see if Gorilla Grodd's back in the sewers, but he's not. So he must be somewhere else. So Barry's daydreaming. He's thinking. He's daydreaming. Cisco and Dr. Wells is out. They left the scene. So Joe, he's a Mac. He be coming on the scene with his blazer and his shades on. Like, yeah, I'm on the scene, yo. I'm about to figure this stuff out. So, real quick, there's a scene right now where the camera looks to a tower in the city. If you remember last year's episode of Gorilla Grodd, where the episode ended with him jumping off the same particular building with the same structure to attack, it looked like either the camera or someone on the street. So this looked like the same building from last year's episode. He maybe was hiding in this whole place the whole time with the same structure in that same building. He was, he upgraded from sewers to the penthouse. You know what I mean? On the 44th floor with Jay-Z, So Kaitlyn's passed out. She on some sheets, She wakes up. And Gorilla Grodd has appeared to got smarter because he's writing formulas on the wall. So Gorilla Grodd remembers her. He asks him how he become Grodd, and she knows the truth. So the particle accelerator made him who he is as Grodd. So she tells him what happened to him about the particle accelerator, but he said repeat. I'm thinking, okay, she also thinking what? Like repeat what I just said? No, he wants her to repeat the steps I gave him his ability as Grodd to make other maybe other gorillas like him. She said she don't know how to do it. He said learn. So Flash, the show is trying to establish Gorilla City with other gorillas that can talk like Grodd. So it appears that Barry has his speed. We see the lightning. He's on a cosmic treadmill. He has his speed, but it's not going 100% out. Flash father appears. Oh my god, his father appears. That's what he really needed. That's what he really needed. His father. So hopefully his father talks some sense into him that can encourage him. Cisco and Harrison Wells have a conversation on how the Grodd become Grodd. They talk about how the Star Labs had a contract with the military. It was like an experiment when it comes to interrogating, and it didn't work out too good. Basically, you already know what the plan was. If you watch episodes, flashbacks with the colonel or the general, and the general didn't like. No, Grodd did not like the general, so we were seeing them flashbacks. So what happened? It appears that Barry's father's a doctor, so he was looking at his X-rays and stuff. He said, "You don't need, you good, you're healing. You don't need physical therapy." So his father is giving Barry's father is giving him a reality check. You know, he explained what he done. You know, he got a tan, went fishing, ate a lot of fish, enough for many lifetimes, basically. He told Barry sometimes you just need to slow down, like, you know. Woo. Woo! Baby. So Harrison Wells is in a costume of Reverse Flash Eobot, and Barry uses little speed that could jump. He jumps to him, and then he gets scared. He attacks Wells. He's in a Reverse Flash costume, which is crazy, bro. So they want to use Dr. Wells from Earth 2 to convince Grodd that he's Wells' father from Earth 1. So, oh my god, I did not know if we would ever see this costume again. Reverse Flash from Earth 1. Oh my god, crazy. Huh. Reverse Flash walking, no speed. Oh, so Cisco what's Wells from Earth 2 to mimic Earth 1 Wells, and he says a speech. He said something like, "You remember the episode?" He said, I think of you as a son," or some shit like that. And I just started busting out laughing. And Cisco like, "Okay, it's not gonna work." So we back at the labs with Barry and his father. So Barry's father, which I'm gonna find out his name. I keep saying Barry's father. I know his name, but I'm not good with names, man. So Barry's father wants Barry to get the courage to get back on his feet. He's giving his personal experience where when he was on trial for his mother's death, how everybody turned his back on him. They looked at him different ways. You know, that he was accused of killing the woman that he loved, the mother of his child. And that was in his world when people turned on him. So Barry asked him, "How did you get past that? You know, that feeling?" He's telling him some good advice. That he embraced it, he looked past it, and he kept on moving because he knew that he didn't kill his wife and his child's mother. He knew that. He had to keep faith and, blah blah blah. So his father gives him some, I would think the best encouragement in the world to Barry. So we back with Kaitlyn and Grood. She's got some formula formula in those needles, and she's explaining it to him. Wait. So when Wells appeared on scene, you can hear the background of the sound effect of reverse flash when it vibes, like that sound effect for a short second. So he appears, right, and with Grood, appears that he trying to convince Grood that he's Harrison Wells from Earth 1, and Grodd said, "You died." He's a nobody. I'm here. I'm daddy. Come to me. Let me breastfeed you. He said he basically realized that he wasn't Wells because Wells doesn't ask, Wells take. So he said, "You're not him. You're not father." And Wells says, "Yeah." So Barry has a plan to take the needles and stab Gorilla Grodd, and that might do something to his to him. Hanson Wells like a pathetic. Look at me. So Earth 2, Harrison Wells sound mighty like Earth 1. How he promised Gorilla Grodd. How he promised Gorilla Grodd what, the city, hinting Gorilla City, maybe another Easter egg right there. How he hinted it, he promised him, which is a long shot. So they heal up Wells, and Joe said, "Yeah, we should just kill him." And Kaitlyn's not for it. Wells has an idea how to lure Gorilla Grodd to one of the portals to send him to maybe another part of the city, or to maybe a jungle. So they're gonna use Kaitlyn as bait, but lure Gorilla Grodd to the portal by Flash. And Gorilla Grodd jumps out the building. So Gorilla Grodd is chasing Barry. He's climbing up on the structures of the building, or the buildings in the city, which I like. We get to see a lot of CGI of this, which is the most CGI they use from season 1 to season 2 put together in one episode. What? They gonna blast him to Earth 2? Wow. You're taking a good character and you're gonna bring him to Earth 2. So they know they got gorillas in Earth 2. They established that with a hint. But you gonna put them in Earth 2? That's stupid. Why bring him to Earth 2 instead of keeping him in Earth 1? I think that's dumb. So, okay, Barry got his speed. Barry has his speed, so it was a psyche block. He had a block in his head. So he just had another flashback of the fight with Zoom. He said, "Where's Kaitlyn, Flash?" So the only person that could be that's not controlling Grodd, but I can say it's like Kaitlyn's not controlling Grood, but she's the only one that's being nice to him at this point. So Grood is like, Flash is my enemy, and you are too. And she's like, no, I'm not your enemy, and blah blah blah. Which is stupid. They go send him back to Earth 2 instead of keeping him in Earth 1. In Earth 2, it appears that they established some talking gorillas in Earth 2, which might turn out to be Gorilla City, which is funny. Barry gets Kaitlyn out of the way, and they go send him to Earth 2, which is stupid. You just win, Barry. So alright, so Barry so his father had told him that, you know, so Barry punched him into the portal, so maybe he gets sucked in. Wow, he is getting sucked in. Wow. He got sucked in. Oh my god. So he went back to Earth 2. And the portal closed. Which is stupid. Why they sent him back to Earth 2? Which they may have established Gorilla City in that place, because they hinted in early episode there was other talking gorillas. But send him, this bigger character, to another world, another Earth, which is stupid, bro. Stupid. So they took the reverse flash ring off the costume of Harrison, Earth 2. Sorry, they took the reverse ring off Reverse Flash costume, which it was 2 costumes in season 1, not that we didn't know of. One in the Time Vault and one somewhere else, in Star Labs. In the jungle. In the rainforest, yeah. Either so they sent them to Earth 2 and to South America in the rainforest, which is stupid. They took a good ass character and they sent him to Earth 2. So they got the flash ring real quick, and Harrison Wells said he knows something about microtechnology. He might help. Because Barry said it'd be good, hey, so we could put the suit in the ring, start carrying around a bag, so he could just, do this, do that, and then do this and do that, and then, you know what I mean? And the flash suit would come out, and he could just transform, which is cool. So they just had they had a moment looking at pictures of Barry back in the day. So Joe was like, yeah, she's a smart girl. She's not buying your, your bullshit sickness. So, Barry's about to take his father to the bus station. I think Joe is emotional because he knows Barry's not his blood son, but he that's his son, and he knows that Barry has a real father, but Joe is still his father. He raised him, but I think Joe will have a chance to know what it is to be a real father with his real son when Wally West come on board in The Flash. So Patty and this guy Barry's having a conversation. So he lied to him that he wasn't sick, but his father was in town. He wanted to spend time with his father, and she said, "You couldn't tell me that." She said, "I need to know if I can trust you, if we can do this, like, you know." Barry got his little girl. He got his girl, Patty Spivot. Kinder Sandra's leaving the coffee shop. And Cisco got a fruit basket, basically apologizing. And he has, back in the day, when you used to hold music to your girl's window back in the 90s and 80s, right? But in the background, there's music playing, so it sounds like he has a boombox in his fruit basket in front of the store like this. So, which is funny. He's apologizing. So he brought a projection screen monitor. Well, he uploaded Princess Diary, and they're gonna sit back and watch it. And so he had another vibe. Appears to be her as Hawk Girl. Not Princess Diaries, Princess Bride. On the roof, they go out to watch it. On the roof. Wow. Which is funny. So, end of the episode, we see Gorilla Grodd. He's transferred to the Amazon. Yeah. This place had established Gorilla City. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Alright, real quick. The episode ended, which was a good Easter egg comic book related episode when it comes to Gorilla Grodd. The episode ended where Gorilla Grodd is transported to Earth 2, and he stumbles and he picks himself up, and you see a cutscene of the view spanned like miles, and you see a mountain statue of a gorilla. Right? It could be him. It could be Grood, but I think it's a generic mountain statue of a mountain carved statue of a gorilla. It could be Grood, but I don't know. And then you see appears to be a town in the center of down the hill. He's on top of the hill. Down the hill is a town, or maybe like a village. In the middle of the village, in the middle of it, you see like a coliseum, like a circular, appears to be a coliseum. Then you see things moving in front of the coliseum, right down by the ditch, down the hill. You see something moving. As I'm looking closely, it appears to be gorillas doing military training, like posing, like you know how army guys do poses with their guns. And they left face, right face, about face, and like that. And then if you look over to your left, there's another mountain carved out statue of a gorilla. It could be Gorilla Grodd, but whatever. But we know that Gorilla Grodd Earth 1 has a counterpart in Earth 2. So basically, everybody that's in Earth 1 has a double green in Earth 2. So maybe that Earth 2 Gorilla Grodd has established himself in Earth 2. Maybe. But maybe, I don't know. But let's not go that far. We know everybody in Earth 1 has a double gain in Earth 2. We know that. So maybe those statues are just generic gorilla, great apes statues. But you see that it looks like this place is like a small village or a small place of other gorillas in there. You see coliseums, you see gorilla statues, you see people doing military or gorilla training, and they're surrounded by Amazon big ass forest. So it's kind of weird of why they didn't choose to keep Earth 1 Gorilla Grodd in Earth 1 to establish Gorilla City in the Amazon in South America in Earth 1. The particle accelerator gave him abilities, but if I recall, they said that particle accelerator, the dark matter, only affected Central City and maybe I think the surrounding area, a little part of the surrounding areas. So it couldn't have been the dark matter was worldwide affected, but it is weird how they played it out where they confined it to one particular area, But this would have been awesome if they would have had, done Gorilla City in Earth 1. But they took that character and moved that character over there, which is I still don't like it, because if they finish the season off by closing all the portals, you just severed a good connection from Earth 2 and Earth 1 people, especially Gorilla Grodd. You severed him completely by sending him to another dimension, another Earth, and if you can't open that portal again, you just basically used and wasted one of the best valuable characters in the DC universe. Okay, and I first met Grodd when I was watching the Justice League on Cartoon Network. That show introduced a lot of the characters, a lot of villains that to people like me didn't grow up watching comic that for a guy like me that didn't grow up watching. It's not watching, but reading comic books. All my superhero information comes from the anime movies, the anime TV shows like Superman, Batman, the animated adventures, Spider-Man back in the 90s, X-Men back in the day. Not so much the Fantastic Four when I used to watch it. I really didn't watch it. I watched a couple episodes of Iron Man Adventures, So all my comic book information comes from cartoons and from the cartoon movies. So not as much as comic books, because I didn't read the comic books. So Barry got his speed back. We don't know how much of his back, if he's back to original state, But we do know he got his speed back, and I want to believe that the writers did not take out the plot point where Zoom stabbed him with the 2 tranquilizers. In theory, it's supposed to reduce his speed, but not kill his speed. Which he lost his speed during the battle with Zoom because he had a blockage because of fear. So he got over the fear. He got his speed back, and he's able to walk. So this episode was basically surrounded by Grood and Kaitlyn's relationship. And some relationship with Harrison Wells from Earth 1. But Harrison Wells from Earth 2 was faking to be Earth 1 Wells. And Grood seen through that shit. So Grood has enemies of Team Flash, the whole Team Flash, including Kaitlyn. So yeah. So this episode was mostly about Gorilla Grodd. The show establishing his intelligence, how his intelligence increased since last year's episode, and what he wants to establish. He, out of his own mouth, he wants to establish other gorillas like him. So if y'all know what that means, Gorilla City. They take him to Earth 2, where it appears that Gorilla City had already established, but it's in the beginning phase. And if y'all read the comic books about Gorilla Grodd, y'all probably know about that more than I do. So I'm gonna end the video. This was okay. It was an okay video. All episodes of these shows can't be always every day, every week action packed. You always gotta get some shows that's more information, enlightening. So I mean, I like shows like that. Sometimes shows are high up there, some shows are low down there. So yeah. So thank you very much for watching my live reaction video. This been The Flash Season 2 Episode 7, titled Guerrilla Warfare. Thanks.